The best Garmin watches are now some of the most advanced ways to track sports training, fitness levels, racing performance, and even stress and sleep. In short, these are lifestyle trackers with sport-specific smarts aimed at getting you fitter, faster, and generally better at your sport of choice. Garmin is a specialist when it comes to running and cycling, with more intelligent metrics than most other competitors, and with accuracy to back that up. We have listed the best Garmin watches 2024 and their key features. You need to consider this to help you choose the best one for you. For more information on the product, as always, I've included a link in the description box down below, which are updated with the best prices on each product. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. Now let's get started. Number 5. Garmin Forerunner 165. The best Garmin watch for new and improving runners. The Garmin Forerunner 165 fills a necessary gap in its best running watches line. The very cheap Garmin Forerunner 45 and 55 watches are getting quite old. And the next stage up, the Garmin Forerunner 265 and Garmin Forerunner 965 watches are much more expensive. So it's nice to have an option in between those. The Forerunner 165 is a little pricey to be classified as a cheap running watch, but it's a high-quality entry-level item. Starting at $299 to $199, the Forerunner 165 is a middle ground option that retains a lot of what makes the premium Forerunners really good training companions. It's got the AMOLED touchscreen, the Ace Morning Report feature introduced in last year's Garmin Forerunner 955, and nap detection as introduced in the Garmin Venue 3. You can also create courses in the Garmin Connect app and sync them directly to the watch, and you get race adaptive training plans, which suggest workouts based on historic exercise and recovery data. The design, meanwhile, is very reminiscent of the Forerunner 265, right down to the profile and the redesigned run button. The whole thing is very appealing, especially at a reduced price point, offering genuine value in terms of features. In order to achieve this, Garmin has made a few small sacrifices, such as using chemically strengthened glass for the screen instead of the 265's stronger Gorilla Glass, and plastic for the case instead of the heavier, harder polymers used in Garmin's more premium offerings. The battery doesn't last as long, the 265's, and the watch has 4GB of storage instead of the 265's 8GB. It's also missing a few features in comparison to the premium watch, such as the very useful training readiness score, hill and endurance scores, and compatibility with cycling power meters. However, the inclusion of body battery means you've got some recovery metrics present. Number 4. Garmin Epic Pro Gen 2. The best premium Garmin watch for runners, the Garmin Epic Pro is essentially the excellent Fenix 7 Pro with an improved AMOLED screen instead of a memory and pixel display. It's a beautiful premium sports watch aimed at serious athletes who enjoy getting into multiple disciplines, but it'll really shine during running workouts. Thanks to the ability to create routes in Garmin Connect, you can then use the full-color screen to follow the route you created. Whether you're in the city or on the trail, the watch will notify you when you're supposed to turn left and right at the appropriate junctures. At night, the watch's inbuilt torch can be switched on. A low light red if you're in the city and want to stay visible for traffic, or a blinking white LED light to alert marshals to your presence if something goes wrong on a dark trail. The Fenix 7 was the first watch in the Fenix line to feature a touchscreen, and the 7 Pro and Epic Pro alike take this further with a more responsive, sensitive screen, although it's automatically locked during workouts to prevent accidental touches. It's extremely useful for panning across maps with the watch in navigation mode, especially with new features like relief shading, which shows real-time weather patterns. There are now lots of free maps available to download, and Garmin has added a new map manager to the watch itself, which makes the process quick and straightforward. Satellite positioning is quick to establish a lock, and proved super accurate in our tests. The watch's biometric tracking is also impressive, with a new optical heart rate sensor and new metrics including the hill score and endurance score ensure your training is at its best. I've been wearing the Garmin Epic Pro for about 3 weeks now, and it's a phenomenal, premium-feeling Garmin watch. It's essentially an AMOLED-screened version of the Fenix 7 Pro, which is the Fenix 7 with the 7X Solar's LED torch. Number 3. Garmin Instinct 2. The best Garmin watch for outdoor sports. We were big fans of the original Garmin Instinct, but it was always a very functional-looking watch, chunky and stoic. The Instinct 2 keeps all the features of its predecessor, including a shockproof fiber-reinforced resin case and exceptional battery life, and tucks it all into a slimmer package that's now available in 2 sizes. 45 mm or 40 mm for smaller wrists. It's a full multi-sports watch, with carefully designed tracking modes for a wide range of activities, and runners, cyclists, and swimmers are particularly well served. You get the advanced training tools you'd expect from a modern Garmin watch, including workout suggestions, recovery time guidance, and load monitoring so you can strike the right balance between effort and rest. The standard Instinct 2 offers impressive battery life, but while the first-gen Instinct Solar could hypothetically keep running indefinitely on a single charge, the company says that it's now a practical possibility if you spend enough time outdoors. We were certainly impressed by its performance in our tests. Even with regular workouts, the power meter barely budged when we got enough sun. The only downside is the fact that its monochrome memory and pixel display isn't great for maps. And you'll get far less detail than you would with a watch like the Fenix 7, or Epic's Gen 2. The Instinct 2's mid-range price makes it very tempting though, and it comes highly recommended. If you want a cheaper version, the Garmin Instinct Solar, a version of the original watch, can be bought for a lot less than the updated model. The Garmin Instinct 2 takes the best features of the original Instinct, including its super tough case and high-contrast dual-screen display, and gives the whole package an overhaul that makes it fun rather than austere. Number 2. Garmin Forerunner 265, the best Garmin watch for most runners. The Garmin Forerunner 265 and smaller 265S, alongside its sibling, the Garmin Forerunner 965, are the latest iterations, at the time of writing, of Garmin's flagship Forerunner series. The 265 comes less than a year after the release of the critically acclaimed 255 series, sporting a few updated features, a redesigned watch case, and an all-new AMOLED screen. Given that the watch is essentially last year's world-class Forerunner inside, I wasn't sure whether the 265 would do enough differently to earn its place on our best Garmin watches list. However, after spending around 3 weeks wearing the watch, including during a marathon, I can confidently say it's one of the best Garmin has ever made. It feels familiar yet different at the same time. And despite the few changes on paper, the design language is remarkably refreshing. It's more than a simple iterative update. The AMOLED touchscreen thankfully doesn't impact the watch's substantial battery life too badly. Even on GPS mode, it's capable of hours and hours of use uninterrupted. It'll last around 2 weeks in smartwatch mode and charges to full power in around an hour. It's not quite the unlimited battery life of the Garmin Instinct 2X Solar, but it still leagues ahead of Apple's best. Although the old digital watch-style display was always clear to read without feeling like another blue light-emitting screen on your wrist, the AMOLED touchscreen takes the Forerunner and edges it slowly towards the territory of the best Apple Watch and best Wear OS watch models. The series feels more like true smartwatch competitors, rather than dedicated athletic watches, and very viable alternatives to the Apple Watch Ultra for runners who want to pay less. Either way, the 265 series is for sure one of the best running watches out there right now. Number 1. Garmin Venue 3. The best Garmin watch overall, the Garmin Venue 3 is the third in a trilogy of watches, which, unlike most movie trilogies, as the third is actually the best of the bunch. In fact, this is one of the best Garmin watches outright. Like the rest of the Venue series, this is a pretty balanced blend of smartwatch and health tracker. Primarily, that means the Garmin Venue 3 looks great with a rich and colorful AMOLED screen that gives some of the best Apple Watches a run for their money. Unlike Apple Watches, which can only go a scant 18 or 36 hours without a recharge, this watch can last for up to 2 weeks. What you don't get here is some of the more premium running features like the training readiness score or race predictor, like you would get on the Garmin Forerunner 265 for example. But you do get advanced sleep tracking and suggestions, an evening report, unique wheelchair user-specific training metrics, and more health insights. This watch also features a speaker and microphone, meaning you can take calls from a connected phone, right there on your wrist. It also means the meditation training is more immersive with audio guidance, music, and more. So while this is on the expensive side for a Garmin watch without premium training features, this does manage to offer lots of smartwatch-style capabilities, like GPS tracking, offline Spotify, and contactless pay, while also focusing on lifestyle tracking all day and all night. The Garmin Venue 3 is undeniably an attractive smartwatch that can be used as a fitness tracker and as a fashionable day-to-day wearable. The silicone strap is comfy, waterproof, and minimal in its design. That stainless steel bezel also gives it a premium finish, which other curved screen wearables like Apple Watches and the Google Pixel Watch 2 are missing. But it's only when that screen lights up you really see the quality. This watch boasts a gorgeous 1.4-inch AMOLED display with a high 454 x 454 pixel resolution.